You got one of your chains got stolen. It wasn't stolen off of you.
No, man.
It was in a vehicle, and it got stolen out of the vehicle, correct?
The whole vehicle got stolen.
Oh, with the jewelry inside of it.
The feel that I'm in right now, like, y'all don't see me dropping music every weekend, every week, and whoop. It's because I don't care.
My girlfriend, I did come to Houston. I found love in Houston, man. I found peace in Houston. I came to Houston and started thinking way different. I stopped doing a lot of shit I was doing. I just, like, grew up.
Vegas, a Stunna, and the Infant were going all out in the rap game on a direct takeover mission. Today, however, we'll examine how it all went wrong and why Stunna allegedly drew a gun on one of DaBaby's own musicians. In Salisbury, North Carolina, Stunna folk Vegas emerged with few prospects for success. Growing up without his father, Stunna initially attempted to work hard on the court, playing football and basketball. Javan Hargrave, his cousin, signed a defensive tackle contract with the Minnesota Vikings. However, Stunna understood that sports wasn't his thing, so he changed course and entered the booth. He began releasing songs and performing live throughout North Carolina, putting forth a lot of effort every night. He was making about $300 a show back then, but it was nothing special, just little club engagements. Even though Stunna occasionally produced a few additional bands, his finances remained modest. He wasn't buzzing outside the state yet, but others were taking notice. He was put on by a local DJ, and he attracted DaBaby's interest in this way. The Infant had been in the rap game for a minute at this point. After releasing his debut mixtape in 2015, he was already well known in the business by 2018. He was far superior to Stunna, even if he wasn't yet a full-fledged superstar. The Infant realized this child had star power when he saw the DJ write about Stunna. The Infant could already see the shine as they connected and clicked right away, even though Stunna hadn't yet exploded. DaBaby and Stunna went to the studio the day after they first connected and prepared the track Animal. Stunna became well known right away when that joint blew up insanely and ran up huge figures. DaBaby wasn't merely showing off. He ensured that Stunna could maintain the momentum and ride the wave. They were essentially glued to the booth from that point on. Additionally, the Infant began taking Stunna to performances. Following after a few months of riding with the Infant, Stunna had completely changed. He used to earn a few $100s per concert, but now he makes thousands each night. He was being pushed hard by the Infant. Additionally, Stunna was the only artist on his 2018 Blank Blank mixtape. This was a huge victory for DaBaby. The distribution of Blank Blank was handled by Jay-Z's Rock Nation label, which marked a significant turning point in his career. By 2019, the Infant got a huge 7-figure contract with Interscope. He did not, however, simply pocket the bag for himself. He also ensured that Stunna had a deal. Stunna, who was already signed to DaBaby's label, $1 Billion Baby Entertainment, was now supported by a significant label agreement. Stunna had gone from slogging tiny performances to living the dream and accumulating significant wealth in a matter of months while rolling with DaBaby. DJ Vlad was already spending over $200,000 on features before DaBaby even signed him, Stunna informed him, and demonstrates. Additionally, the Infant was really excited when Stunna and the Infant released the song Ashley. In 6 months, I made my young wealthy. Come play with me, get a con busted. The streets went nuts when Stunna released his debut album with Interscope. He was really making an impression. But there was drama along with the sparkle. When rumours began to circulate, Stunna began to make headlines for all the wrong reasons, that the chains were taken from his neck by someone. When videos of Stunna's chains appeared on Instagram, many began to believe that he had been robbed. However, Stunna intervened, stating that the tale was completely fabricated. He claimed that he left the shackles in his whip and had a shore in Atlanta. Stunna revealed on the Only Way Out podcast that the entire whip was taken and he never saw the men who took it.
This happened where you got one of your chains got stolen. It wasn't stolen off of you.
No, man.
It was in a vehicle and it got stolen out of the vehicle, correct?
The whole vehicle got stolen.
Oh, with the jewelry inside of it.
Nor was he going to pay to have the chains returned. He claimed he could just purchase additional jewelry. However, Stunna's career was beginning to stall while the money was coming in. 2019 was a huge year. He signed a contract, released his debut album, and began collaborating with well-known figures like Offset. However, the enthusiasm was beginning to wane. Lil Yachty and Lil Durk were also involved. However, Stunna and the every time they hit the booth, DaBaby would run up insane numbers and drop track after track. 2020 got off to a crazy start. In January, Stunna released his second album, which peaked at number 29 on the Billboard 200. When he joined Go Stupid with Polo G and Dasnelli Chopper in February, he scored the biggest hit of his career. However, everything became unstable. Stunna was not as popular with critics as it was in 2018 and 2019. Additionally, even the fans started to fade. He continued to network with well-known rappers and amass wealth. However, the sales plummeted when he released a second album in November 2020. Not even the charts were touched by the record. In 2021, Stunna completely stopped driving and didn't make any mistakes. After going on the run, doing Rolling Loud and losing some industry contacts, DaBaby encountered a significant obstacle in his career. In 2022, Stunna returned with his fourth album. Drama was simmering behind the scenes, and nobody realized it would be his final project on DaBaby's label. Kilo, a female rapper, was also signed by DaBaby, and the two of them were releasing songs together. The label was creating a new wave, and Kilo began to garner attention as well. However, the conflict with Stunna was silently on the verge of erupting. When Kilo's mixtape dropped, and DaBaby's issue with his baby mama Denny Lee began to take center stage, things became tense. It wasn't the only problem at the label either. There were rumors that Stunna had shot Kilo in the face. However, no one is entirely sure how it all began. Kilo claimed that when she broke one of Donna's girls' phones, the girl allegedly began yelling for assistance. Then Stunna allegedly approached her and aimed a gun at her. The drama didn't end there. Kilo began criticizing Stunna for fleeing his conflict in hiding out in Houston and North Carolina. She apparently also broke his phone. Stunna declared that the entire tale was capped as soon as he went live. After quitting DaBaby's label, he declared that he would never harm a woman and asserted that Kilo was merely seeking influence. None of our black women would ever be harmed by me, not the filthy, not the righteous. I wouldn't hurt any of them, claiming that she had lost any genuine feeling in the rap game. Some people weren't buying Stunna's side either. Tequila and others conjectured that he was fleeing operations in North Carolina. After all, Stunna's name comes from the block. He raps about sliding on operations with tracks like Animal and heavily promotes North Carolina. In order to keep people guessing and the drama going, he even claimed to be playing both sides. If he gets caught slipping, Stunna won't even be able to pick a side. The streets were untamed, people discussing 2-3s, sliding on blocks, and connecting with friends to manage business. According to reports, Stunna is a member of the group YRB, and his friend Sin was imprisoned for allegedly catching a body. In order to demonstrate that he was still representing the group, Stunna even shared him on Instagram. Stunna made a lot of headlines in 2021. It's unclear if Stunna was present at the shooting, which actually took place during an after-party, despite rumors that someone attempted to attack him after one of his performances. K Kilo stated that he was living in Houston because he couldn't go back to North Carolina. However, Stunna was honest with Vlad TV. He fell in love and relocated to Houston. He met female rapper Mona Leo at a studio while in Houston, and the two began dating.
Hold up, bring that back. Bring it. You
Nah,
did
look,
what?
I told him off camera, wow, but to show my girlfriend, I did come to Houston. I found love in Houston, man. I found peace in Houston. I came to Houston and started thinking way different. I stopped doing a lot of shit I was doing. I just grew up.
From that point on, Stunna made the decision to completely alter both his life and his approach, relocating to Houston and completely altering his way of life. Stunna was having trouble with medications and lean prior to moving to Houston. However, Texas made a huge difference in his life. He began going to the gym, obtaining his lives together, and even went on to become the manager of an AAOU basketball team. He saw the team while they were practicing one day and made the decision to take charge of them, providing them with jerseys, shoes, and even tournament funding. In 2023, Stunna requested DaBaby to let him go from the label since he was sick of the rap game grind.
Feel me? And go separate ways. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go do some shit I got on the table, and I can add you in on it, or we could just, I probably after talking a few times, we just, you feel me? It wasn't nothing more, nothing less than, all right, bet. You're gonna do whatever you're trying to do.
When word leaked out that Stunna was no longer under contract, the gossip went crazy. There were rumors that he was dumped, and that there was a major conflict between him and the child. Stunna corrected the record on Instagram Live. He didn't provide all the information, yet he wasn't dropped. He made it clear to fans that he didn't give a damn about beefing with other artists, shaking it for streams, or being a rapper. The environment I'm in at the moment, I don't care, which is why you don't see me releasing songs every weekend or every week. Really? For actual? I mean, I'm really serious. I have no interest in being a rapper, dude. I will not come up here and shake my ass. I won't come up here and start arguing with everyone. He then stated that they simply grew apart. However, at first it appeared as though he might have been making fun of the infant. There was merely a difference in priorities and paths rather than actual conflict, and Stunna was prepared to live his life as he saw fit. The infant then disclosed that Stunna made contact with him in 2024. He expressed his continued desire for Stunna to prevail, but he was a little upset over how Stunna handled the fan situation and prevented people from discussing it openly. Right now, I tell Dia that I'm glad for him, because whatever you're doing right now is what you want to be doing. You would prefer to be doing that. I am that kind of... The way Stunna handled the issue in public seemed to put pressure on the infant, but Stunna continued to demonstrate affection, often praising DaBaby for helping to establish his career. On the front end, it is what you are intended to do. Do you understand what I mean? You're expected to do that in front of the public. Yes. Yes. What after all made what public? The reality is yes. He was no longer with you. Yes. 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 He shouldn't allow Gyas to play that way. While they were collaborating, there was undoubtedly more going on behind the scenes. Stunna said in an interview that he signed an unfavourable contract. He clarified that he was able to escape it by retaining his own attorney. I'm grateful that DaBaby did everything. However, I loved how he placed me on every platform, stage and location. All I did was stand on business. For example, I did everything it took to get people to give me a call back or to get in touch with me if they ever wanted to do business with me. Furthermore, it seems to me that Stunna did not explicitly state that the infant provided him a lousy deal. Do you believe that the contract you signed was a terrible one? I managed to escape it. I arrived just now. As I mentioned, I should have been assured that I didn't actually know that. My new attorney informed me that he would let me know as soon as he got to the specifics. That's how it is. However, it was obvious that he was dissatisfied with the way the money was going. It was the infant who launched Stunna's career and put him in the public eye. However, things weren't going well for Stunna behind the scenes, and there were conflicts and actions that the public was unaware of. Supporters believed Stunna might be permanently out of the rap game. However, he signed with STB Entertainment, a smaller label, in 2024 and released a brand new album. His decline in the rap game was spectacular. With each drop, he used to accumulate millions of streams, but now he hardly reaching the 100,000 threshold. Stunna is no longer primarily focused on the industry. Even if the majority of his new songs were creating waves, he and Mona Leo had their first child back in 2023, and they were married a few years after. Stunna now focuses on managing basketball players, talks of having more children, and is all about family life. He's even considering attending college to hone his abilities and advance in his career. His income has decreased from when he was rolling with DaBaby. However, Stunna was always frugal with his money. Despite accumulating hundreds of thousands of dollars, he chose to purchase a $25,000 Jeep rather than spend it all on ostentatious exotic vehicles, as many rappers do. Although it's unclear if DaBaby and Stunna will reconcile and reunite in the booth, fans have been hoping it will happen. When Stunna and Mona appeared on The Breakfast Club in October 2025, Stunna disclosed that, although he wasn't requesting any handouts, he reached out to the infant to accept responsibility for things falling apart. It appears that the beef is finally finished after they sliced it up. However, there won't be another 2019 level run anytime soon. Turn on notifications and subscribe to Rap Uncovered immediately if you're prepared to remain up to date on all the actual street stories. We're just getting started, and the streets never stop. Every day we release heat, and tomorrow's tale will be even more bizarre, profound, and unmissable. Click the like button, tell your friends about this video, and leave a comment with your ideas. Here at Rap Uncovered, where the reality of the streets is revealed, we'll see you in the next one.